Hey, look, I have a backlight. Not just a flat, boring. Now I have some depth to me. Upgrades. All right. So today, good morning, Noster. Good morning, everyone. It is Kyle. I am the Pentographer, and welcome back to my channel. So today, I wasn't 100% what I wanted to talk about, but I think I got it sorted out. So today, I want to talk about some of my favorite first buys in regards to inks. So let's go with top 4 first inks that you should get a hold of. So this is if you're new to fountain pens, and I think these inks work really well as inks to start out your journey with. So the first ink on the list, and the absolute first ink that I think anyone should buy, is Platinum Carbon Black. So Platinum Carbon Black is my favorite black ink, and it is my favorite black ink because it is water resistant. So water resistant ink in fountain pens is really good because fountain pen ink is notoriously runny and watery and water based, and so it'll wash off very easily. But Carbon Black does not do that. Now it'll run a little bit if it gets wet, but it won't completely disappear. It's still legible, still easy to read, and so that is sort of the prime reason why I think it is the best ink to get a hold of first. It's a boring color, it's just black, regular black, but everybody should have a black ink, and Platinum Carbon Black gets my vote for the best black ink in terms of its staying power and legibility and all that jazz. I think it's just a really solid all-around ink, and it's a great starter. And I always give that one out to anyone who I'm gifting a pen to. There's been one exception to that, but generally that's the ink I give to people when I'm giving out a pen. That's the one I go for. So that's my first ink on the list. Second ink on the list is Diamine Sherwood Green. So Diamine Sherwood Green, I think it's a good ink to get. Number one, because it's not blue, and even though some of the inks on this list are going to be your standard inks like blacks and reds and stuff, I think that Sherwood Green is a nice dark green ink that works really well. It's very legible because it's a darker color, but it's not like a typical blue-green, or blue-red, that stuff. It's sort of out of the ordinary. And I just really like the shade of green, and functionally I think it works really well. Now it's not water resistant or anything like that, so you don't want to get it wet, but besides that, excellent ink. Great one to start with, and it was one of my first inks that I bought as well. Actually, it was the first ink I purchased for myself, was Diamine Sherwood Green. So that is the second ink on the list that I think you should get if you're just starting out with fountain pens. Because that's the other thing, is it writes really nicely. It really flows well through the pen, so that's good. The third ink that I think people should buy when they're just starting out is Iroshizuku. What is it? Iroshizuku. It's a purple. Iroshizuku. I forget. It's a Japanese name, and I didn't look at it before I made this video, so that's my bad. But it's Iroshizuku purple. I like purple inks. I think they're really pretty, and it's a nice, again, another darker color. If you can't tell, I like darker inks because they're a little bit easier to read. I just find them more legible on the page, and so I like them for that. I think that's a good metric to go by, is having legibility high on the list. So purples are naturally just a little darker, Now, Iroshizuku is very... the Iroshizuku purple is a very bright one. Like, it's pretty bright. It's not, like, really, really dark or anything. But it is quite simply the most gorgeous purple I have ever seen in an ink form. Like, it's just such a nice color. It's so good that I think you should just have a bottle of it. Just because it's a good ink. It's really pretty. It pairs well with a lot of pens. It pairs really well with blue pens. It pairs really well with my green pens. It'll pair with pretty much anything, actually. I would pair it with, yeah, pretty much anything. So it's a really solid, really pretty ink that I would highly recommend you get a hold of. And the fourth ink that I think people should get is Diamine Oxblood. Now, this is a red ink. It is a darker red ink, but again, same reason, legibility. But again, it's one of those inks, like, it's nice to have a range of colors, and so far, what do we got? We've got a black, we've got a green, a purple, and now a red. So you're kind of in a range of colors. They're a little bit off-brand, you know, they're not the blue, the red, the black, and the green or something like that. They're a little different. But Diamine Oxblood is a nice darker red. It's not too bright, but it's not too dark either. Just a really solid red. And the other thing is about all of these inks is that they come in larger bottles. So I cannot remember the Iroshizuku purple. I do not remember what it comes in, but I think it's a 60 ml bottle. That's the other reason why I like these ones, is because they all come in like larger 60 ml bottles. So you get a lot of ink. It doesn't seem like a lot, you know, 60 milliliters does not seem like a lot of ink, but it is for fountain pens. It takes quite a while to go through it. I haven't gone through a single bottle yet, and I've been into this for well over a year. Now, granted, I've got a lot of stuff fairly quickly, so I've got a lot of bottles to go through, but and I kind of spread out my inks into my different various pens, so you know, lots of selection in what I've used. So that's probably why I haven't gone through a single bottle yet. The bottle I'm probably going to go through first would be actually my Platinum Carbon Black, my first one, because that is the one that I definitely use the most. But Oxblood, I think, is a really good red to start with. Darker, so it's legible, but it gives you that red that, from a pure practical standpoint, you probably want. Nice to have a good red. And that's sort of that one. And I'm going to give you a bonus ink for the list, because I have another ink that I'm thinking of as well that I think everybody should get, just because it's a nice ink, and it is Sailor Manyo U Sunset. Now, I don't know how available that ink is, but this is another red, but man, it's pretty. It's just a really pretty red. Yeah, it's another red. It's just really nice. It's got it kind of fades a bit. I know there's a term to it, but it kind of fades a bit. So where you first put the pen down, the ink will pool, and then as you pull your line, it spreads out and it lightens up a bit. This one is really heavy with that feature, with that effect, and it just looks really nice on the page. Like, every time I've written with it, I'm just absolutely in love. I use it in my Monteverde Innova, is what I use it in. So it's got the flex nib on it. That's the one pen I purchased with a flex nib, and when you get that line variation going, it just looks so good. So that is the bonus ink. I don't think everybody should necessarily go and buy it. That is like their first ink, but I think you should have it because it's just really nice ink. It's just a really nice red ink. So yeah, so those are my 4 plus a bonus inks that I think everybody should buy when they first get into fountain pens. Definitely lean towards the Carbon Black on that one because it's a really practical ink to have. If you're not into them for artistic reasons, or you're just getting started and you don't know what to do, I still think Carbon Black is the best one to start with. It comes in a 60 milliliter bottle. It's great. I highly recommend it. But everything on this list, I think, is a good starting point for your fountain pen journey, your fountain pen collection. So that's going to do it for today. I will see you guys in the next video. Like, share, and subscribe. Do all those. And I will see you in the next video. And as I always say, may your pen always be inked.